I like that. What did she say? What did she say? Oh no, she did. No, she did. Hush now, I'm trying to eavesdrop. Eavesdrop. Welcome everyone. Welcome to Mahogany Voices podcast.
Welcome.
I'm your host Tish, along with my co-host friends.
Cynthia,
Joanne,
Stephanie,
Tracy, and Zethray.
Yeah, so first off, I want to thank everyone for tuning in to last week's episode, Forgive Me or Not, when we talked about forgiveness and if it's possible to forgive for whatever the offense is. So if you haven't checked out that episode, go on over to your favorite podcast platform and listen in, or go to our YouTube page so that you can see us discuss the forgiveness. Okay. All right. So this week, our topic is going to be old school versus new school, the holiday edition. But before we get into that, we're going to say hello to the ladies. Hello, ladies.
hey,
Hello.
How was everybody week? It was Christmas. How was everybody's Christmas?
Perfect.
Anybody have any good stories they want to tell about the holiday week?
Well, we built gingerbread houses, and a stranger came in, and I won.
Yay.
Mine was picked for one. You know, this was a heavy competition this year. Heavy.
Oh, really?
So, I mean, we had balconies and
Wow.
had a car in my driveway and a pool in my backyard. We go all out on this. So.
Did you take any pictures?
Yes, I did. I'm going to share them, and maybe you can share them on our page.
Yes, we're going to share them on our page so everybody can see, because I want to see.
Y'all could choose.
Yeah, let's see who.
I ain't gonna give any hints as to which one is mine.
Right, let's see who our listeners pick, who the winner is out of those gingerbread houses.
Right.
So, anybody else? What y'all do over the holiday?
Opened up my Christmas gifts. Ooh, what you get? What you get, Joe? Beautiful. Me.
I'm like,
Lovely.
The necklace?
Yeah, I'm like, is it the necklace? Is it the nails? Like, what is it?
Is it the goddess braid?
I know that's right. Yeah,
It is of yourself. That's
And
right.
so
It was a good Christmas week, good Christmas holiday. Nothing spectacular because we're kind of social distancing. We did have dinner at my cousin's house. Family that we know where they've been. They can
okay.
come. Oh, she said know where they've been. I know that's right. No, I don't do everybody around me with this COVID, but it was nice. Got to see my little cousin, who is just want to open up everybody gifts. But other than that, it was nice.
It was nice.
Yeah, we did Zoom. My family, we did Zoom. So that was fun. We did that for Thanksgiving, so we had a good time on Thanksgiving, so we did it again. And it seemed like, I don't know, but it seemed like everybody that I know was cooking seafood for Christmas.
We did.
I mean, I know I did. I fixed salmon. Oh my God, it was so good. It was sesame garlic salmon.
Oh,
Sounds good. Sounds
I
delicious.
had a crab pretzel. And then I had zucchini and squash and onions, like
Oh, that sounds good.
vegetable medley. It was so good.
Yeah,
And then I did my macaroni and cheese.
of course.
So good. Yeah.
Definitely.
sounds wonderful.
So yeah, we
Sounds
had a
really
good
good.
time.
I listen to a lot of music, with everything going on and the hecticness.
Yeah.
I've been listening to a lot of really soft music, soft jazz, piano music, anything that just keeps me living in the moment,
Right.
just
That
really
sounds good.
conscious of what's going on around me and being thankful for what's going on.
Yes.
It's been interesting. I do have one funny story. My grandson, every time he opened the gift, he said, "It's
exactly what I wanted. So I mean, his
Aw.
expression is just happy. And that just made me happy because he just thought everything was everything he wanted. And like Joe said,
Right.
one person wanted to open up everybody's gifts. So that was good.
Oh,
No, it was just really nice, quiet. That's it.
okay.
I relaxed.
That's good.
I can say one funny story too. My goddaughter has picked up, I guess, my old tradition. I used to always be the one that wraps gifts, and they'd be like, "Can you come to my house and help wrap? Can you come to my house and help wrap?" So on Christmas Eve, my middle godchild, Corey, called me, "God, Mama, you want to come over and we'll cook dinner?" So I went over. I was like, "I'm going to my baby new house for the fourth time now. She cooking today."
Nice.
So we had crab cake, salmon, rice, and asparagus.
Oh, okay.
That sounds
So
really
very
good.
good. After, and she said, "I'm gonna bake some cookies." I was like, "You right up my alley.
Yes.
I'm proud of you. Making me feel Christmassy and whatnot." She said, "But I got all these gifts I need to wrap. I only was able to wrap two because I don't know how to fold the ends.
Uh-huh.
So could you get me over here to help wrap the gifts?" She said, "Please."
At least she fed you.
Uh-huh.
She
Fed me.
She
And I
fed you.
stayed there. I think I stayed there. It's like back in the day when it used to be me and her mom before she was born and falling asleep over each other's house and everybody going home probably about 3 or 4. I went to sleep and I woke up. It was like I didn't go to sleep. We watched movies like it was Christmas Eve.
Okay.
And then
Nice.
it's like 3 in the morning. I was like, gosh, I'm glad I don't have no little kids.
Mm.
It's
a
like
nice memory.
I'm not going to sleep. I'm staying up until it's time to go to brunch.
You
Talked to a
know
lot
what?
of people. You said they did seafood. I've talked to a lot of people who did brunch. A lot of people doing.
Oh, okay.
You know, I had a taste for grits, and that was because people been doing shrimp and grits, waffles, pancakes, all
okay.
this big breakfast food brunches for their Christmas, and
Yeah.
right up my alley.
Guys, I've done that before. I don't know. It just seemed like over I guess the last, I don't know, it could have maybe about 5 or so years. I just don't like having, like, even for Thanksgiving, like I just don't like having all that food left over, eating that
Right.
same food for days. Like when we were
Days.
younger, we would eat it for 4 or 5 days and make
That's
turkey
right.
sandwiches.
I love
that.
leftovers. Oh my
I mean,
gosh, I love the
do.
leftovers.
I like
Oh.
having it the next day and maybe a little bit the next day after that. But after that, I'm done with it. I want something else.
I'm adding to it. I love it.
And
We
like,
don't normally have anything that lasts that long.
well, yeah, I'm sure. And you know, the last 3 or so years, we have been going out for Thanksgiving,
That's the best.
which was the best. Oh my God, the best. All
Yeah.
we were cooking were desserts, so that when we came home, we had desserts, but we didn't have all that cleanup. Oh my God,
Right.
it's like the best thing.
Ellie, we've
Restaurant,
never
and
done
there's a
that.
lot of restaurants that are doing that now.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So next time I want to try Ruth Chris because they
Okay.
give you a whole meal to take home too.
Wow.
Wow.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Shout out to Ruth Chris.
Right? I like that sweet potato.
Girl, yes. That cream spinach.
Yes.
I'm trying to find how to make cream spinach where it's not so fattening. I'm gonna
Okay.
figure it out.
I know you are.
Mhm.
Share
Gotta
it
find
once we
a
do.
low fat cheese.
Yeah.
That's the hard
Well, they
part.
have the plant-based cheeses now,
Right.
Yeah.
so I'm gonna try that. I
And
haven't
they're pretty
tried that
good.
yet. Really? Okay,
They
I'm
are.
gonna try them out. But okay, ladies, sound like y'all had a good time enjoying your family. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Getting together with
Yep.
your family, even though we're in a pandemic, you just got to be creative and find a way
Yeah.
to still interact with your family, which, you know, is important.
Stephanie, did you cook?
I did not cook.
Oh,
My
okay.
mother and mainly my daughter cooked this time. She cooked all by
Okay.
herself. So she cooked a mean curry goat. It was delicious.
Oh,
That's
So
different.
yes, it is.
That sounds
she,
good.
she
Sounds
likes
good.
to cook. She got that from, both me and my mom.
Oh,
Sounds
that
good.
does sound good.
So she'll get in the kitchen and she just make a mess. Oh Lord.
Well,
Her and
now
my
we know
mother
where you
both.
get some curry from.
When her and
Yes.
my mother get in the kitchen, it's like a hurricane.
Gotta learn to clean up as she go.
Yes, I clean up as I go.
I do too.
Absolutely.
I don't like to clean up afterwards.
She like one step at a time. Yeah, I want good food
Yeah.
to eat with the clean kitchen. I want
Exactly.
one step at a time. My kind of girl. Tell her.
Right.
Well, actually, when I was younger, I was like that too.
I think
One
we
step
all
at a
were.
time. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, so okay, y'all sound like y'all had a great time. That's good. So guess what? Now we're gonna move on over to my favorite segment, which is
The hump day stress reliever.
Yes.
Okay. Hey, my MVP listeners. How y'all doing today?
I'm doing fine. I
I'm
know
great.
I was wondering when somebody was going to hey, let's try this again. Hey, my hump day listeners. How y'all doing today?
We're
Hey,
doing
Hey,
fine.
we doing
good.
Wonderful.
Y'all sure?
Yes.
yes.
Yeah, we are good.
Or reach.
Yes, in this minute. Yes.
Just giving y'all a little something. I ain't got no beat dropping today,
No week today.
though. No drop today. Just giving y'all something just to keep on going.
Or reach.
Work out today.
All right, Joanne.
That's a good workout beat.
Okay.
Can you work out on
You
that?
to work out.
Yes.
Work out today.
Work out a little bit.
2, 3, 4.
Okay. I'm off.
I'll do my workout.
Oh, oh.
All right now.
Yes.
All
Yeah.
right.
Thank
Thank
you.
you
I
for
enjoyed
that
that.
1 minute out of my day. I look forward to that every Wednesday. Yes.
Definitely.
I appreciate you. All right. So we're going to now move on over to let the voices speak for themselves. And I'm here to tell you our co host for this segment today is none other than Tracy, a.k.a. Low Key. So give it up for
Woo-hoo.
her.
Yes. Chase.
Hey, everybody. So
Hey.
today we are doing old school versus new school holiday and how everybody feels about it. Our old school, we had a way of looking at things versus how younger people do today. So, like everybody else started, I'm gonna start with a little presentation. There's no quote, except there is from my nephew who's very talented, very artsy, and our family really does respect him. And somebody asked what was the meaning of Christmas to each person in our family group. We have about 19, 20 people in our family group. And so this is what his take on it was. And his name is Antonio. And he said that Christmas that we celebrate today is the combination of two events in history, so to speak. One being winter solace and to the birth of Jesus, the wise men bringing gifts. The tree is part of what most people will call a pagan holiday, winter solace, where the evergreen tree was at its highest and greenest, and you would use holly and winter plants and foliage to decorate your tree. And the gift giving came from the idea of wise men bringing gifts to the manger. I believe each person is to have their own meaning of what Christmas should mean to their own family. So what I did was I talked to a few of our high school friends and some close family and coworkers and asked them what was the difference between Christmas then versus Christmas now. And the consensus was pretty tight. mostly everybody said Christmas back then was definitely family oriented.
Right.
You look forward to your getting together with your family, your
Yeah.
cousin. You're going to see grandma. You weren't going to get a whole bunch of gifts, but you may get that favorite gift. Like, let me tell you, the biggest thing was that 10-speed bike,
Yes.
those skates.
Yes.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep. Yep.
That maybe that one pair of shoes because you had no shoes, or a coat
Right.
because it was
Right.
cold. The Barbie townhouse,
Yes.
or the what's that microwave?
Easy bake
Steak.
oven,
Easy
girl.
bake
Yes.
oven. I'm about to go and pull
Yes,
out the easy
yes.
bake oven. I'm about to
Everybody
pull it
had
out.
the same, but everybody said they look forward to seeing their cousins and going outside to play.
Yes.
Mhm.
So when I
Yeah.
spoke to some of our younger family members,
Mm.
their idea was they were still going to get together, but they were going to get together. They were going to party. They were looking forward to seeing each other, but they were going to do things different. They were going to dance. They were going to sing. Some say get together and drink. What I did notice that during our time, things were more tangible stuff that you could like put your hands on. Like I wanted to see my cousins. I wanted to wrestle because she beat me last time.
Right.
Oh, not let me forget the Jack Purcell.
Oh my
Jack
gosh.
Purcell.
Yes.
Yes.
Jack
Jack
Purcells, you didn't
Purcell.
have,
Yes,
you
ma'am.
weren't in. And
Right.
then if you had them, Tish had them when she couldn't fit them, then I could fit them, so I
Yes.
was in. So it was hand me down, pass me over, but that's what you were doing, and that's
Absolutely.
what we were used to.
Don't forget
Yeah.
about
So
the fish heads. They
oh,
cost
the fishes.
$1.99. Fish heads.
Fishes.
They make your
Make your
fingernails fine.
fun. It-
So yeah, so everybody, it was just those things because it was the camaraderie. You know, family made you who you were. They helped you
Right.
develop your
Mhm.
personality. They protected you, and then also please don't let me forget. I talked to my mom and my dad and some of the older people.
Oh, okay.
Their whole thing was about Christmas, and the whole holiday season it was about Jesus. You could
Right.
walk down the street. It was very quiet. It was very religious. They started the morning off with prayer. They would go to church, then come home, have
Right.
dinner, and maybe open one gift, maybe, and that's if your family could afford it. And they didn't do a bunch of traveling. You stayed locally, but now
Right.
people are spread out. But it was all about Jesus, the family, your religion, spending time together, uplifting one
Yeah.
another, and that was that. It was not a big commercial thing. Now we have Target, we have Walmart. So the thing of it is, now we have all the social media, the Christmas tree. I don't know if you notice all the different wonderfully decorated Christmas trees. So the thing of it is, it's likes. How many likes can you get?
Right.
That's the whole thing, this whole
Wow.
virtual thing. Back in the day, it was about promoting family. What we have now is it seems to be promoting more of self, and not exclusion, but spending more time alone and doing your video games and things like that. So how can you develop? So it seems like back then we were trying to develop into these people and grow up to be these
Right.
great humans, where now it's not really promoted. You want more likes. So if Joe has a tree, I'm going to go to the store and get something else so I can post it on Facebook to see if I can get more likes than she
Right.
has.
Oh wow.
So it was all those things about
competitive.
it's very competitive and separation versus bringing people together.
Right.
So Joanne, what do you think?
Well, I say the same thing, so to speak. I mean, the statistics, your personal statistics, I should say, would show you that back in the day, we had so much fun when it was Christmas. I mean, we could open up our gifts and know that everybody's going to meet outside to see who got the skates versus the bikes.
Mhm.
And are we going to share? And no one's sharing their gift the first day. So if your parents didn't give you anything that you could ride on, you'd be the one sitting on the porch playing with whatever you got, a truck or whatever you can roll.
Right.
But nowadays, it's like Christmas come and it's such a price tag on it. It's beyond commercialized right now. It's no, I can't, the simplest gift can make a person happy. It's the thought for me.
Right.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
nowadays, people want to give you a Christmas list where they want a $200 pair of shoes, $900 video game, things to that nature, and not take into consideration that you do have to live beyond Christmas. Christmas is not even
Absolutely.
about the gifts. Christmas truly is about the birth of Jesus, but we have taken it out of that concept. You don't even see that many people going to church or anything on Christmas
Right.
or to acknowledge what it really is, the season for. You just, what did I get? and
Mhm.
everybody get me a gift. When I sat and listened to little kids saying, "You didn't buy me nothing," it's like,
Wow.
who are your parents? You know what I'm saying? When I'm listening to one of my girlfriends and her nephew asked her, "You didn't buy me nothing," and she was like, "No, I didn't even know you was coming over." And I was
Wow.
like, "Wow, that was bold as a kid." And so
Right.
that lets you know how they're coming up. It's so materialistic and so commercialized now
Mhm.
versus back in the day. We appreciated the fact that we got a coloring book, crayons, a
Mm-hmm.
bike,
Mhm.
skates, easy, whatever we got, we were appreciative of it. But
Mhm.
it is completely family oriented. Now it's like families are being forced together. But if you don't bring a gift, then they out you out.
Well, a
And
lot of the things I also heard were the people who did not care for the fact that people are still promoting Santa Claus, and the parents are saying that they're working so hard, and the children don't appreciate their parents,
Right.
and they're looking forward to this Santa Claus that's coming down the chimney to bring these gifts. Where the kids don't have a Santa Claus. And so, Cynthia, since you work with all these children, what's your thought process about this whole Santa Claus?
I'd say, uh, for me, you know, I believed in Santa Claus for a while, and
Yesterday, this
Oh,
I
Christmas
was
or last
for a
Christmas?
I was
long
going to say,
time.
When
I
did you
saw you
stop?
putting them cookies out, Cynthia, the
Yeah,
other
I did.
day.
I believed in him for a long time until, you know, accidentally going through my parents'
Oops.
closet and seeing
Oops.
that's
these big
hilarious.
black trash bags, and then telling my sisters, "Look," you know. And we kind of had that accident every year after that,
You
you know.
said
The
But
same
I
Claus.
do, when we were younger, we never made up a Christmas list. We never made up a list.
yeah,
It was just
never.
Right.
whatever was on our parents' heart, and we were just so appreciative. And there was several of us in the house. When there's 5 people in the house, 5 kids in the house, everything belongs to everybody. Although it's
Yeah.
marked for you,
Right.
everybody eventually played with everything. So
Yes.
no one was like, "Gimme, that's mine." And
Right.
so
Right.
it wasn't a selfish kind of thing. It was like, well, when I finish playing with that, you want to swap. We did a lot of
Right.
swapping, and
Right,
it
right,
was 4 girls, and it's like, let me hold your doll, and let me, we played with everybody's everything. But
right.
it
Right.
wasn't because we made a list up, because, and I think that when you create a list, that's when you start saying that's mine because I
Mhm.
said I wanted that.
Right.
So
Right.
when I was younger, we never made up a list, and I do remember, and I used to always wonder why my father would always get everybody a watch and an umbrella. That
Wow.
was his main thing.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
he got everybody a watch and an umbrella. And I so appreciate having an umbrella
Yes.
now and a watch. And it's like, oh my goodness, you always need to know what time it is. And you
Yes.
always need to prepare for whatever is coming from the sky.
That's
So
true.
I never, when you're young, you're like, why in the heck? You give me a watch and an umbrella. So you knew that's what you were going to get.
You
You
better
knew you were
ride
going to
that
get.
umbrella like it's a
That's
horse.
right.
Well,
And so many days I keep an umbrella in the back seat because
Hmm.
That's
I
right.
always need to be prepared. So
Prepared.
thank you, Daddy, for always letting me know that I needed to be somewhere at a certain time
Right.
and I
Right.
needed to be protected from the weather. Never
that's
understood
good.
it.
Wow. That's
And
good stuff.
now, but just to try to explain it to my kids, you don't know why you have this umbrella. To them it's like, I mean, an umbrella,
Right.
you know. But I say that for many of the kids nowadays, they they're not happy unless they have whatever was on that list. We were happy with whatever came in the house. It didn't matter.
Right.
But
Hmm.
the kids nowadays is all electronics. They don't want to go outside. They don't. We couldn't wait to drop everything and go outside and play, you know, those
Right.
skates, and hopefully everybody got a skate key, and you know
Yes,
so
girl.
it was like, I got skates, I got a hula hoop, I got a jump rope, and
Right.
all of those
Right.
things that we needed to have fun outside. And
Yes.
now we give them everything to have fun inside by themselves,
Hmm.
alone.
Hmm.
Something they can operate without the help of an adult. No
Wow.
board, no board games.
No
Yeah,
board.
that's
Oh, I love board
We
games.
could not wait
Yes.
until the evening of Christmas.
Bravo.
We sat
I
down
appreciate it.
and
Monopoly,
played every board game. Monopoly was
Oh my
Candyland,
God.
yes,
Remember the
Candyland,
game of
Sure.
life?
Yes,
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 Oh,
that
life.
was
yes,
good.
All of those games, and
mhm.
it's not
Tetris.
as
Yes.
important now. It's not as important now. So
Mm.
you
So,
know,
do the
I miss
kids that you
those.
work with, do they still believe in Santa Claus since you have those young age kids?
Hey, I don't take it away from them. If they
Okay.
believe in it, they believe in it. And one of the students was like, "There ain't no Santa." Hey, don't finish that sentence. And I knew where he was going. I said, "Don't finish. Don't
Mhm,
finish. Christmas is what you believe in from your heart.
Right,
You know,
mhm.
if that's what you believe in, then that's what you believe in, and you don't take that away from anybody. I wouldn't take it away from any child. If
right,
Right.
that's what they, and some parents promote Santa, some of
right.
them
Oh,
do,
absolutely.
but
right.
it's not my job to take that away from them.
Exactly.
My teacher say,
Right.
I'm not gonna break in.
Ain't no Santa. Ain't
Right.
no Santa. Huh.
So many people out shopping and buying so many things, trying to make everybody happy. Zach, do you feel like people appreciate the gifts that they're giving, or should we start doing something different? I mean, remember back in the day, we would write a note, we would write a poem, you would draw a picture for your parents, and they pretended
Right,
to be appreciative. Do you
right.
feel like people appreciate, gift giving like we used to, or is it
No,
different now?
no, it's a lot different now. Like Joanne said, do we put too much emphasis on giving material things?
Mm,
When we were growing up, it was a gift of being together
mhm.
that
Yeah.
everybody was waiting for Christmas, or the gift of sitting down and eating together because we
Yes.
all were ready to eat together all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and now that we're so materialistic, we think that shows our love and gratitude, and it doesn't.
That's
Gratitude and
true.
love should be shown by your present, and
Absolutely.
not just on December the 25th. Because
Every
my
day.
issue with the gift giving is you give me a gift, but you go back on December 26th and treat me like dirt.
Yes.
No, thank you. I'm
Right.
not
Absolutely. That's
interested.
true.
Hold
Mm-hmm.
on to your gift. I'm
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
not that desperate for a gift. So yeah, a lot of that has changed, and we need to be more involved in each other's lives so that when December 25th or any day rolls around, we are like, we're loved and appreciated, and not just by a $200 pair of sneakers.
Mm-hmm.
And God knows we did not ask for anything as a child.
Right.
Mm.
Like like Cynthia said, we whatever was underneath that tree,
That's
we were
right.
grateful for. Because do you girls remember those little $5 dolls
Oh
that they
yeah.
had,
Yes.
or that fell
Man.
apart in a minute?
Yes.
Your
Yes,
brother could operate and put them
kid.
back together again.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Girl, how about paper
Appreciative.
dolls?
Paper dolls.
Yes,
I was
Paper
happy with
dresses.
that.
Yes.
loved them.
And I
Loved
think
them.
those paper dolls had a lot of girls into starting to make their own clothes for dolls.
Oh,
Yes.
I
Absolutely.
believe
When
so.
that
Did y'all
paper,
ever
I
cut the
when
believe
that
so.
paper
newspaper and
tag,
make a dress?
when
Yes.
that paper
Girl.
tag rips and you can't fold it over top,
Over the top.
so
Yes.
you gotta
Like
make
I,
your own
yes.
clothes. Oh,
Yes.
I made dresses out of newspaper. I made dresses out of magazines.
I know that's right.
Cereal boxes.
This is out of
I know
stock.
that's right. I know that's right. But it's not all bad, because as our parents and as we become more successful, I understand the thought of giving more, and
Mhm.
especially when you didn't have. So of
Exactly.
course we want our children to be better, but sometimes I think we lose the integrity of it and the
Themselves.
morality
Yeah.
of it, because we
Mhm.
want to do
Absolutely.
better and we want to give better, but you forget why we're doing it and how hard we had to work to do it, and that I don't know if it's a good thing or not to expect, because we didn't expect anything other than being with one another. Now these children expect you to give them an Apple or iPhone, and it's just, I think we're losing something with gaining something.
Right.
So,
So
Steph, do
Absolutely.
yeah,
you think that by the parents making more money, that they've started a competition, and therefore our children were a product of the competition that
Wow.
the parents may have had with one another? So, if I
definitely,
bought my kids some Jordans, you bought your kids some Jordans,
definitely.
and that started this whole competition. And as a result, our children lost. So, Steph, do you think? I mean, you're out there like right in the mix of things with the barbershop and the people.
Definitely a competition. It's all about the dollar, right? So if my shoes cost $90, right, then they won't go out and get a pair of shoes that cost $190.
Right.
So yes, it is very much a competition. It's even a competition with cell phones. Like the competition is, oh, you got an Android, you need to get an iPhone.
Right.
So everything is a competition. And I just look at it like, it's up to the parent to try to bring the kids back down to a decent
Yeah.
level.
So I'm
Yeah.
saying, do you think that as a result of the parents purchasing things so that my child will have what your child has or better, that our children have actually lost? You know what I'm saying? They haven't gained anything by us giving them everything. So I always say to
Right.
people, I become who I've become because of the things I didn't have. I had to work hard. I had to persevere. I had to
Right.
problem solve. And by you giving your child a pair of Jordans and the new mountain bike that can cost anywhere from $1,000
Ooh,
to
yes.
$5,000, which I just found out this year,
Yeah.
just so the child has no idea what this means. But to the parents, so then the children start competing. And as a result of our lack of thinking, that our children have lost, they've lost, what
Yes.
Christmas is
I mean,
supposed to be.
yes, they have lost because, it's not about the spirit anymore.
Right.
It's not about the Christmas spirit, it's about the Christmas dollar.
Right.
Ooh,
Christmas
that's good.
dollar.
Yeah.
That's the
Woo.
good word right there.
So
the
it's
Christmas
spirit
dollar.
versus dollar,
Mhm.
and it's terrible. And
Come
I
on,
do want to
preacher.
say to Cynthia, when your father brought you a watch, right? A number of years ago, I started buying for my birthday, right? A pair of Ray-Ban sunglasses and a watch. And the purpose of that was I couldn't grow out of it.
Wow. Okay.
Right, right.
And,
Okay.
So that's probably why your father brought you a watch, because he knew every year he didn't have to really replace that watch because you would still have it unless you lost it.
well, we were young, so
Right.
Like
know,
it is, you
I
lost
just
it.
wanted
it's
to
going to
put
last us
feedback on
too long.
that. Right.
And also the watch also made you tell time.
Right.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
We didn't have digital watches then, so we learned
Exactly.
at an early age how to tell time. Kids
Right.
don't know how to tell time unless it's digital, unless they're looking at their laptop
Right.
or
No,
cell
Their
phone.
cell phone. What time
Exactly.
is it? Let me grab my phone.
Phone. Yeah.
So back then, parents were smart in their shopping. That it was a practical gift. It was a useful gift, very
Yep.
useful gift.
Right.
But it's like at second grade and third grade, they don't know how to tell time.
Right.
They're not forced to try to figure it out.
Mhm.
So we were forced to figure it out at a very young age. So
Yeah.
You
I
also
also
needed that watch
remember.
because you needed to know what time you had to be in the house.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Well, then again,
remember-
when the street lights came
Hey,
on.
boy.
yeah, it was light. It was we didn't look at a watch. It was
Street light.
it's dark.
When the
That
street
little
you
lights
got
go on,
glittering.
you
older.
better be on the porch.
You see that little
Yes.
flickering go on, you be like, oh
Yes.
Lord.
Gotta go. Gotta go.
If old Lord was a person.
Right.
Yes. If we
So
were streets over, we'd see that flicker and be like, oh my God, we gotta get out.
right.
And then
We
you
used
hear
to,
somebody calling your name and everybody be like,
Yes.
ooh.
we used to stay with my uncle over the summer, and we learned when we were supposed to be in the house. He had this distinct whistle, and I can't repeat that whistle, but we learned by watching his son and daughter run. And it was like, what are they running for?
It's time to go. It's time
We
to go.
just ran, and they said, "Didn't you hear him whistle?" And I'm like, "No, I didn't hear him whistle." Rest his soul, but back then we had different ways of getting children attention, but that whistle, I remember that it's time to go.
But Tracy, I also can remember, one year that my son, he was into cups. right? Stacking cups.
Yes.
I remember that.
Yes.
And he was
Colors.
like, I want some cups. I had no idea what he wanted these cups for. Right? I was like, what kind of cups? He was like, drinking cups, my drinking cups. And I was like, really?
Yes.
Drinking cups?
Yes.
Mhm.
I brought him like 5 different colors, right, of cups so he could stack. So that was 5 different presents. See what I mean? That was 5 different presents because blue was wrapped, red was wrapped, white was wrapped, green was wrapped. He was so excited, right? And he took it beyond. So he did the whole multicolor thing. Right?
Wow. Wow.
Stacking his cups, and like we as parents, it's like you said, Tracy, we want them to have the newest,
Absolutely.
what's out on the market. Now, I'm
Mhm.
saying that because I talked to my nephew. I said, "Oh, what you get for Christmas?" He was like, "Oh, Peaches, I got a PS5."
Wow.
He was
I
lucky.
said, "Oh,
Nice.
a PS5?"
They were very
I said-
hard to find, from
Yeah.
what
I
I
said, "Well,
understand.
don't you have a PS4 already?" And he said, "Yes, but I gave it to my sister for Christmas."
Recycling. Well,
The gift
I
that
could give
keeps good.
shoes. He can get a PS4. He
So
gave
I
a
said,
PS4.
"Well, what does the PS5 do that the PS4 don't do?"
Mm.
Nothing.
Really?
That's what he said. Nothing.
So it's no difference?
It's gotta be.
Yeah, it gotta be a
Well, I
difference.
Gotta
understand
be.
the
Listen,
new
I got for my
iPhone
Kind of
12.
technology something. I
Yeah,
know
the
it's
new
kind of
iPhone
something.
12 is supposed to have like 3 more cameras on it, and that's it.
Ridiculous.
But if you think about it, it's really the technology. So I would think the technology is in the game that you put in, like the 2K10 or whatever that's called, or the
Okay.
NFL. I would think it's the graphics. That's why I asked, what does the 5 do that the 4
Right.
don't do?
Mhm.
And his answer was nothing. Well, or maybe he just don't know. I don't know.
Mhm.
But I do know.
Tell them to Google it.
The Googler.
Yeah, Google it.
Yeah.
So,
What did
Tiff,
he
let me
care?
ask
Shoot.
you.
So I mean, and then I just started taking my kids away every Christmas because I felt
Well,
like
that's always
you know,
nice.
That's the
Traveling is
let's
best.
just
always
get
I
these
good.
haven't done that yet.
memories.
That's the best experience.
It is.
Mhm.
Every year
Yes.
I was taking my kids somewhere for Christmas. I
That's
hadn't even remembered all the places. And it was one day
wow.
my son was sitting talking to a friend. And he was naming all these places we had been. I was like, dang, I forgot all about that. I forgot all about that.
Wow.
But that's good though.
That's
So, Tiff,
excellent.
you're like an all around good type lady. You have a very big personality. You know a
Oh.
lot of people. You studied a lot of things. So, what do you think about like Christmas? How it was celebrated now versus how it was celebrated back then? The people that you spend a lot of time with. I mean, you have a very giving spirit, a very open spirit, but very direct. So just give us your view on Christmas, back then versus now.
Versus now.
Mhm.
Well, first of all, we didn't always celebrate Christmas.
That's right.
Mm.
I
So
forgot. That's
I was
right.
Okay.
raised I was raised as a Muslim, so we had Savior's Day, which was in February, where we exchanged gifts.
Mm.
So we didn't start celebrating
Beautiful month.
Christmas until I think I might have been around maybe 10
Wow.
when we
Okay.
had our first Christmas tree and we were so excited. So for us, Christmas was really about the lights, the Christmas
Mm.
tree, exchanging gifts at a time when everyone else in the world was exchanging gifts. Um, because we were still practicing Islam, but it was just about we were doing something different.
Right.
So but like everyone else, like it wasn't about we made a list. It was whatever our parents or well my mother, because my father still wasn't celebrating Christmas.
Bring that tree in here if you want to.
Oh my God, we had to have a whole sermon about having that Christmas tree in the house.
I know that's right.
Yeah, so it was like whatever, we got, we were happy. It was just about
Mhm.
the idea of not knowing what was in
Yes.
the package.
Exactly.
Even if you peek.
Even
Yeah.
if you peek and just pulling the wrapping paper off, it was just all about that.
Yeah.
And I mean, I just know that we were excited about it. It could only be a few toys,
Mm-hmm.
It was a Huffy bike.
I had a blue one.
So I had a pink one. Some skates.
Mm-hmm.
Rock'em Sock'em Robot. Like we said, the Easy Bake Oven. We had the dolls that was about 3 feet tall.
Yeah.
Weren't they scary though? Those dolls were scary.
Girl,
I still have.
they were a little bit, but I wanted one.
You had the
Barbie doll house.
I had a Barbie doll
Yeah, I
house
had that.
with the
Yeah.
elevators.
Wow.
The string
Nice.
for the elevator.
Elevator.
So it was about, but then it was about that and getting outside as soon as possible to see what
Yes.
everybody else
Right
had
outside.
Right.
and to show everybody what we had,
Right.
And our house, like it was 5 kids, so each person didn't get an Atari system. It
I
was
know
one
that's right.
Atari
Right
system.
For the house.
system.
For the
The
We
whole
had to
house.
put-
That's right.
So like when Stephanie said, her nephew, like that's 2 game systems in
It's
one
in
house.
one house.
That wouldn't happen back in the day.
Nope.
Not at all.
So,
You had to take turns. Hurry up, it's my turn. It's my
exactly. We could
turn.
take
Yeah.
two people could play at a time.
Uh-huh. When you get out, it's my turn.
My
No,
turn.
no,
You
that's if
rotate.
you had 2
Yep.
controllers.
Well, yeah,
Oh,
we
yeah.
had 2 controllers.
Playing against each other.
Yeah, but we
Uh-huh.
rotated. But
Uh-huh.
nowadays, I just feel like I just feel sad kind of for the kids that are coming up now because they are missing it. They are
Yeah.
lost, like because not even just understanding the true meaning of Christmas and on the religious aspect, but just about knowing how to share with your siblings.
That's
You
true.
know,
Mhm.
like they don't even have that. It's everything.
You
like
don't
you
have to
said.
share. Everybody gets their own.
Yeah, everything is mine, and I just think
Yeah.
I just don't think it's good for kids as a whole because they're losing that togetherness. Everything is
Right.
about mine, and everybody doing everything on their own. And
Yeah.
it's not. It's just I just don't feel it's good for the family dynamic.
Yeah.
When people think like that, I do understand and I get
Mhm.
I'm one that always say that every generation should do better
Better.
than the previous,
Right.
but you still have to
Maintain.
you just have to maintain and have some kind of guidelines around
Right.
that,
Yeah.
A foundation, just a
yeah,
good
you
foundation.
don't just go
But they
crazy and
lose
okay,
it.
I'm making more, so I'm just gonna buy
They
everything and you
we
can have
lose it.
whatever.
We lose
No,
it. We
I mean
lose
that's
it.
just like when I see um 3rd graders, 4th graders, anybody in elementary school for that matter, I don't think should have an iPhone. I
I
don't
agree.
see that.
Mm.
This
They
is
had
a
iPhone 12s. I was still on a stick.
$1,000 piece
Phone.
of equipment.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You're giving it to a minor that young.
To a baby. They're
It's
babies.
crazy, because it's a smartphone. So, like I was saying before, it does so much that we only using it for a telephone. Which why are you spending $1,000 for a phone just to use a telephone? So
Right.
why are you giving a mobile computer, because that's really what it is, to
Mhm.
someone in the 3rd grade?
That's
I
true.
just think it's sad that, but it goes back to what Tracy said. It's all about competing. Oh,
Mm.
well,
The
if
parents
that
is actually
child, it's the
competing.
parents. So if they got it, well, I got to make sure my child have the latest.
Mhm.
And it's just really messing the kids up. Like when Christmas now, you open up the door on Christmas Day, it's like you can hear a pin drop.
Right.
It's
You know,
true. You
kids
go
out
look.
there playing. Like
Playing.
I mean, it was
Not even just Christmas Day, any time of the year.
Any
that's
day.
true. That's
Right.
true.
Going
They
outside.
don't even go outside and play anymore.
Yeah.
But
Kids
but
don't go outside and play. If
It
the
was
but
these
kids
two.
outside, they on the corner.
It was these two kids that live in a building next to mine. They were out there playing the other day. I mean, and they were playing on one of those green transformers, and I'm like, "Where's their mother at?"
Not the
Like,
transformer.
like you don't even know that your kids should be playing on that thing.
Right.
Mhm.
I'm just
Exactly.
like,
well, they
one,
That's
send them
true.
out and they don't watch them.
right? They was out there and nobody was out there. And then as
Right.
soon as you say something to somebody's
They want to
child,
jump on you.
right? But I'm just like, they're not supposed to be playing on that green thing. It's a sign on
And
there.
it tells you that. Yeah.
So yeah, I just think I feel sad for the newer generation because it would take a lot to go give them some of what we had. It would
Mhm.
take I just don't see, that even being possible because it would take too many people involved to
Yeah.
try to say, let's give them some of that.
Well, I think we do that. It transcends through music. They don't care for our music, but one tradition that I do hold and that my children have passed along is every morning or Christmas morning, my grandmother did it, and well, my grandparents did it, and my mother did it, and I did it with my children. Was play music. So whenever we
Okay.
got up, they came down. It was always some music playing, some Christmas music. So
Right.
it's just small things. So when one time I didn't turn the music on, my son and my daughter were like, "Ma, you don't have the music on."
Right.
So I go over to my son's house. Well, nope, we zoomed Christmas morning, and he has the music playing in the background.
Oh,
That just makes
nice.
my heart melt because
Nice.
now he's doing it for
Oh,
his children. So there are
Oh,
Right.
some small
good.
things
Right.
Yeah,
that can transcend if
that's
we
true.
we have to do those things.
Right.
But like just transitioning to that, I was listening to a podcast, and there was a gentleman on there, and he put it on Instagram. If we would please not post as many gifts on
Mm,
Facebook and Instagram, and try to be more sensitive to people who aren't able
Who don't
to
give?
ex-
celebrate or purchase gifts this
exactly.
year because of the time we're in pandemic.
Right.
That's true.
And the people who
okay, Tish.
responded to him
The
who said,
peekaboo shoulders.
"Don't."
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Okay,
let me
show.
Sorry,
take, let
Tracy.
me let me take my shoulders out.
I
Uh-huh.
had my shoulders out.
It's
Lash.
getting hot
I
in
got
here.
your
Yes,
turn,
it's
Zeph.
hot.
Put your
So
shoulders
take
out.
off all your clothes.
We ain't doing it. We ain't doing it.
But
So,
when y'all were talking of those, I'm sorry, Tracy, but
okay.
those phones, now y'all know I'm a teacher, and the first thing they have to do is give me your phone in the morning.
Mhm.
It's no point in them having a phone throughout the school day. If
Right.
you could see how beat up these iPhones are, how
Wow.
cracked up, and it's like your phone costs so much more than my phone,
Mm-hmm.
yet my phone is in top-notch condition. But
Mm-hmm.
these are babies with these tools, and these parents
Exactly.
get upset when they got to replace the screen
Yep.
and they got to do
Which
this
is
and they got to do
crazy.
that.
But
And
you
one child, his
did.
phone was all cracked up and sticky, and I'm like, I don't want to take your phone, but I'm gonna take your phone. But I'm gonna clean your phone before I give it back to you.
Right.
But why do you need this phone? My mother bought it for me. My father bought it for me
Yeah.
because if something happened to me in school, what? Back in the day, whatever happened to you in school went through first the teacher,
Right.
and then the
Then
school
the
nurse,
Yep.
and then
Then the
in
office
the
people.
office,
Right.
the school reached out and called. But then they bring these big high price phones to school, and then the first time they lose it, the parents upset.
Yep.
They want to turn the whole building inside out. Whereas if you did not spend so
Absolutely.
much
Right.
money
Trying to give
on these
responsibility to
phones so that you can
children.
compete
Exactly.
with
They're
the
not ready for that kind of
to
responsibility.
compete with the
Ability.
next phone, and then your child has done this and that with these devices. It's just sad. Like you said, it's sad to see what they go through now, as opposed to what we didn't even worry about. We didn't even
Right.
care back then.
Well, like you said, it also goes back to like back then worrying about what somebody had. So if I had it, then you had it.
Mhm.
Now, if you don't have it, you simply don't have it. And like I was saying about the guy, he was saying, could you please not post these things on there, being more sensitive. And the responses that he got was, don't tell me what to do with my money.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can do what I want. It's not my fault they couldn't hold on to their job or they didn't save money.
Wow.
So the people and their sensitivity towards other people or their empathy, sympathy towards other people, there is none. I mean,
Wow.
it has lessened. It's gotten less. People are
Right.
less sensitive to other people's need on Christmas. I do know there are several organizations that have donated food to people who wouldn't normally have to use it. Meals on Wheels. People have been in food lines and things like that. Whereas though people would come to your house back in the day, you got to play the food.
Right. Exactly.
I know we're more sensitive to who we let in our house and to our lives, but what do you ladies think in terms of how much we give to people that we don't know anymore? Strangers, people on the corner.
Well, for me, that's a given, whether it's a holiday or not, even before I retired, it like every month or every 2 months, I would make it a point to have a care day. And so I would, make up bags of food, whether it was a sandwich and fruit and chips and cookies and water and things of that nature. And I would pack the bags up and I would put them in my patrol car. So whatever area I was assigned to, if I saw homeless people or, people that looked like they were hungry or misfortunate or whatever, I'm just standing around, I would pass out the bag lunches. And that's something that, I felt needed to be done, not because it's a holiday or
That is nice.
a person is in need. It's just people are out there and some people will never ask for help. They're going to be out there surviving the best way that they can. And in life, I realized that we can't just survive. There comes a time when we must live. But if we don't show the compassion
Exactly
that we have for people that we don't know, who are we? We're no better than them. We could be in their position today or tomorrow.
That's
so
the truth.
you have to have a heart for people in spite of where you are in life. You still have to have a heart. So I believe that, when we see people out that's begging, not everybody is in need. Some of them are asking for it because of, their vice that they're battling with. But then we have some that are literally in need. Even without the pandemic, there are people just in need because their finances just isn't stretching far enough. The economy is, and nowadays the economy is literally below standard.
Right.
Not that people didn't save their money or people didn't weren't precautious, proactive and reactive, something I always say. It's just that they had to go into that rainy day fund that our grandparents, great grandparents always told us about. They had to go into it because we ran into a pandemic. It's not everybody's fault that they lost their job. That happened. It was unexpected. It was suddenly. And so, you had to have a heart. Now, if I had to give, I'm a give. I'm quite like I'm sure the rest of you all on the podcast with me. We have more than enough.
Yes,
we do. We have more than enough. I say it. I know I'm blessed, and I know I'm fortunate.
Very much. Me too.
And I got more than 2 pair of shoes. I got more than 3 pair of shoes. That's more than enough because I only have 2 feet. I have clothes running over. It's not that. It's not that I have them, but to give. I can remember my grandmother used to say to me, "Oh, go to Joanne's. She got some spare, whatever." And I'm like, "No, Joanne, don't, because Joanne don't have a spare job, so I don't have a spare anything." But that was my growth to go from selfish to selfless. And I live a selfless lifestyle now where I give. I'll give you the shirt off my back, the shoes off my feet, if I see that you're in need, because I know I still have.
What size you wear? Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. Shoes, that is. Never mind. Never mind.
I packed up in this pandemic and gave away so much.
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, when I was going to take myself to the Goodwill once they opened back up, it seemed like everybody did the same thing. It's like when you have time to sit and be still.
Yes.
See that you have an abundance.
Oh my gosh.
That you just more than enough. You don't have enough in the week. If you really sit back and see, like your clothes, you kind of really wear the same things.
That's
week by week by week.
That's right.
So it's like all these other things are really extra
It
that are
is.
just
Yeah.
sitting there taking up space that somebody could use,
Mhm.
Right.
So I'm all about being a minimalist now at this stage,
Exactly.
I've heard
Yeah.
that word a lot lately. People
It's a
just
good
Yeah.
word.
really being a minimalist, just using exactly what they need,
Yeah. And
Mhm.
not
even with
eating to
food,
live nor
That's right.
living to eat,
yeah.
but eating to live.
Right.
Yes.
That's
Even
right.
with
Absolutely.
food, you would have so much in your cupboard in there. And I'm like, why do I keep going to the store when I got stuff in here that I need to cook, use
Hmm.
this stuff up,
Right. And so where do you think that mindset come from where we every Black Friday we gotta buy TV, we gotta buy this, we
Oh
Girl.
gotta
my.
buy that. Every time something new come out, we gotta buy that PS5, got a PS4. Who sets that tone that we have grown into whatever they put out here that I have to see, I gotta buy it, I gotta have it.
Mhm.
It
Media.
got
I think it's the
yeah,
media.
I
but
was
we
ready to say
fall
the same
trap
Crazy
to
thing.
it.
media.
Yeah.
Media.
Yeah, but why do we fall to that?
Because it's a
Trend.
subliminal
Yes.
Yeah,
messages
I
in
definitely agree
that.
with that.
And that's why it looks like we have no control because we really don't. It's subliminally going to our subconscious and playing over and over, telling us that we need it and we really don't.
Don't. And
And
so
you
it's
just
time to
Almost
cut that out. It's time to
right.
stop listening to that. It's time to
right.
either
But you got to
tone
be
that out.
aware. You got to be
That's
aware
true.
first of what's happening
That's
Mhm.
Yeah.
true.
and
That's
then,
true.
do what you need to do to fight against it.
Yeah, because
So
the pandemic made Amazon is the devil. Amazon is the devil. But
Girl,
um,
We needed Amazon when the pandemic started, though. We really did.
yes.
It
yeah,
was the only way to get what you
yeah, I was
needed.
already
Yeah.
an Amazon queen before the pandemic, but
Yeah.
It just
it
grew
just
worse.
goes to show you that if it's out there, you're gonna get it. You're gonna buy
Right.
it. You
you don't
know,
have to get it.
you don't
You
have
Right.
just
to, but
you
you're
don't have to.
going to.
Because
Nope.
You
You
know,
don't you don't have to.
I haven't brought clothes in almost a year. Like that
Uh,
just didn't happen normally. But now I see I don't have
Have
to
to you don't
buy
need it.
anything. Now I
uh,
did buy some shoes because like Steph
wow.
said,
I
I ain't
can't
never
say
gonna
nothing about you.
outgrow my feet. They
Wait,
fit
Me
my
Right.
neither.
size.
When
pre-pandemic,
you see a size, snatch it up.
Right. But I did get rid of a lot of I got rid of everything. Shoes, all. And I told y'all like now that I'm 50, I don't do heels no more. I just don't. And then
Mhm.
especially since I'm in massage, I see what it does to your spine. I
Right.
don't do heels no more.
I can't
So
give them up yet. I'm
Well,
still.
I can say that
I'm
I can
not
say
ready.
before
I ain't ready.
I'm not
before
ready either.
pandemic, I
All
really didn't
right,
need
all right. All right,
before
mothers, don't give them
pandemic.
up yet.
Before pandemic, I didn't really need to shop. But now, since I done sat home and I done ate everything in the house,
I need a new dryer. My dryer keeps
then
shrinking my clothes.
those things that used to fit
Is that
before
what it is?
pandemic,
That was.
That daggone dryer.
Oh.
the clothes before the pandemic,
Damn it.
like now I know these things that just warm.
Cynthia, just hold on. Wait till the pandemic over and
Oh,
then
the
try
what?
to
No,
go back to
don't
that.
buy anything. I just was gonna do that. I said I was gonna put out a public message, be like, listen, the body that you had is it gonna be the same after the pandemic? You don't need
Right.
no new diagnosis. Get out there, get some
Yeah.
air, get some
Right.
water,
Well,
some rest.
my body ain't gonna be the same. It's gonna be bigger.
Bigger,
I-
better, faster, stronger.
Stronger.
6
I don't
million
know
dollars
about
not enough
better.
now.
Man,
I don't
oh
know
my
about better,
Yes.
but it's definitely gonna be bigger.
Bigger
What
is
they
always
call it? A
better.
muffin top?
oh
Yeah.
Lord.
I'm
Well,
gonna
I
have that
guess
muffin
Not a
top.
muffin top. Not a
I'm gonna
muffin top.
pray I don't go that far.
I
No.
guess we can get ready to wrap that segment up, Tracy.
Well,
But yes.
and I'll wrap up. What I've learned the most about old school and new school is that I still agree that the older people need to go back and teach the younger people how things should be done, not in the terms of rules and regulations and religious behavior, but setting the foundation. I found a lot of times from working in a hospital, people don't know who to call. So if I say, do
Mm.
you have an emergency contact? Mom, dad? No, dad, no grandma. Some people are on their
Wow.
own, and this goes
Mm.
from the youngest to the oldest, but they have no foundation. Like I would myself personally, I would be like, Jesus or God, please help me. There are a lot of people, especially young people, who don't have anything or anyone to hold on to. So when they're falling, they
Mm.
can't say, Mommy or God or somebody help me. We need to teach our children a foundation of love and respect in themselves. Even when nobody else
Yes.
did that, we need to
Yeah.
be there
Right.
for our younger people. It still takes a village, and we need not make that just a saying. We need
Right.
to do it. We need to act on it. We need to be
Live it.
proactive and not so reactive, as Joe always puts it.
Right.
Christmas doesn't have to be so commercialized that nobody wants to be bothered with it. If it's just the time that you spend with your family, you don't want to celebrate
Exactly.
any religious thing, at least use it to come together and bring healing. And what is that, we encourage one another,
Right.
just loving one another, and it's about
Staying deep.
healing,
Yeah.
growth, love and support, mercy and grace, being faithful
Yes.
to one another. And really, that's my wrap up.
All
Yeah.
Nice.
Sounds
right.
Thank
good.
you.
Thank you,
Excellent job.
Go,
Tracy.
G.
Yes,
Thank you,
let's give
Go,
Stacy.
Tracy
go,
a
G.
hand.
Yes,
Yes. Whoop,
Stacy.
whoop, whoop,
Yes,
whoop, whoop, whoop,
that
whoop.
was a
Yes.
good segment.
Thank
Yes,
you.
thank you so much. I
Thanks, everybody.
appreciate you. Yes.
Awesome.
So we're gonna move on over to the voice of the community. So, does
Yes.
anyone have any businesses they want to shout out this week?
I do. I just want to shout out S&T, their design company on Instagram. They will monogram anything that you need, t-shirts, glasses, handkerchiefs. They do design, any kind of web design that you might need. They're on IG, and they're S&T Design.
Okay.
All
All
right.
right,
Good stuff.
S&T.
S&T, yeah.
All right. Anybody else?
I'd like to shout out Baker Services. It's a light hauling and moving, family owned. Thank
Okay.
you very much. And
Yes.
the number for them, you can give them a call and we'll come out and give you an estimate on whatever project you may have for the new year. You want to get your stuff straightened up. 443-796-6418. Baker Services, light hauling and moving.
Can you
All
repeat the number
right.
again?
Baker, sir.
Awesome.
443-796-6418.
Okay.
Baker's Hauling.
Baker Services
Hauling.
Hauling. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Anybody else have any businesses they want to shout out?
I'm done.
Any events coming up?
Yes. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
It's the
Woohoo.
hat.
Hence the
That's
hat.
not a
She got the hat to fit under
Okay.
the earphones this time.
yeah. So, any of our listeners or viewers that are entrepreneurs, or they know someone that is an entrepreneur and they love their services, or any business that they've gone to and they love their services, let us know about it. We will shout it out in the next Voice of the Community. You can go over to our YouTube page and type it in the comments, or you can email us at Mahogany Voices Podcast. I was going to say podcast. Mahogany,
That'll work.
right? Mahogany Voices Podcast at gmail.com, and let us know. And if you have any topics that you would like us to discuss, let us know that as well. Okay. All right.
Yes.
So we're gonna shoot over to Cynthia right quick for the next episode, the topic for the next episode. So we
How
got
about we
a
get Sarah
special
to
guest
choose?
coming in to do that for us.
Yes.
Yay,
All right, for
Sarah. Sarah.
What's that song?
Did I lose her?
That's Sarah.
Sarah. Smile.
Oh yeah.
My
Oh, she's running it.
Sarah.
All right,
Yes,
Sarah.
Sarah.
Sarah's gonna pick
Smile.
our next topic. How you doing, Sarah?
Hey, Miss Sarah.
Hi,
Sarah. 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 Sarah.
Hello. All right, choose our next topic for our next segment. Okay.
Sarah is
Give it
our
up, Sarah.
You
honorary
want to read it?
Sure.
lady
I'll
of
read it.
Mahogany Voices.
Yes.
Siblings.
Oh, say it again.
Siblings. It's called
Siblings.
Oh,
Siblings.
okay.
Oh.
Good stuff. All right. All right.
So
Woo-hoo.
yeah,
Let
so
me
you
call all my siblings and ruin
Yes.
them.
I know, right?
Y'all might pop up.
oh yes.
Well,
So
thank you, Sarah.
Thank you,
Thank
Sarah.
you, Sarah.
Bye.
all right.
Bye-bye.
Thank
Thanks, Sarah.
you.
Right.
All right.
Siblings. I wonder where that's gonna go.
Not too
We
well for
shall
me.
see.
Oh,
And we all have siblings.
A
Yeah.
lot of them.
And
I
if
got a lot of
you
them.
want to know how
After
it
that topic, I
goes,
might not have any siblings.
oh Jesus.
um, you gotta tune
Oh,
in
Stephanie.
in the next episode to find out how it goes when we talk about our siblings. And each of us has siblings.
Lord
None of
Yes,
have
we
us
mercy.
is the
do.
only
We have
child.
siblings.
So this is going to be interesting.
Very.
Before we close out the episode, like Stephanie said, this episode will be put out next Wednesday, which is the day before New Year's Eve.
Yes.
It's
Mhm.
our little glamorous look today. All of the ladies looking glamorous. Yes. So we're going to have Stephanie do a toast for
Toast.
the new
Hey.
year.
Yes.
All righty.
What's in your cup?
Popping my bottle. Popping my bottle. Popping my bottle.
All right.
All
Pop
right.
the bottle.
Okay, ladies. Here's to a 35-year friendship that has led us to this point right here today. My Mahogany Voices podcast. Thank you, Tish, for introducing us to something new.
Yay.
Oh, absolutely.
May all of us have a wonderful and prosperous new year.
Absolutely.
Yes, yes.
All right.
Thank you for
That was some
that.
quick sips. Look at everybody with them quick sips.
Thank you, Steph. That was great. That was
That
great.
was.
That was
I'm
nice.
really looking forward to a lot of things in the new year. But guess what? We're going to talk about that in the next
In the new
episode.
Yes,
It's fun
yes.
though.
What y'all
Fun.
what your New Year's resolution is? Everybody make one.
So in the
Uh,
meantime and in between time, we would just like to say have a very, very happy
Happy New Year.
yeah.
very
Yeah,
prosperous, be
definitely.
blessed.
Yes, I
Yes.
think we'll talk more about what our New Year's resolutions, if we have one, in the next episode. In the girlfriend
Yes.
check-in, we'll talk about that then.
Oh,
Because I
okay.
can't think of anything right now.
I can, but I haven't given it a whole lot
Right,
of
I
thought. So I don't
haven't
want to
given it-
speak it into existence. 'Cause
Right,
then
I
I'm gonna have
got
to do it.
yeah, we got a few days that we
Right.
can do
Yeah.
good stuff.
Mhm.
Think about it.
So, ladies, I just want to thank you once again for joining me for episode number 3.
Yes.
Yes.
Winning.
Living the
Yes.
podcast life.
Yeah,
Yes.
the podcast life. Yeah.
In the podcast.
So I just want to let our listeners know. Thank you, and thank you. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for the continuous love and support. We all appreciate all
Yes,
of
we
you.
do. Thank you.
And don't forget, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend, and all your family too.
Yes.
That's right.
About
Exactly.
Mahogany Voices podcast, because
Yeah.
we're not going anywhere.
No.
So yeah, go on over to our Instagram, our Facebook, and our YouTube pages and like, share, follow, and subscribe. And if you go over to the YouTube page, make sure you click on that bell so that every time a video come out, you'll be notified.
Right.
Like and share.
All right. So
Click the bell.
we're gonna wrap this up. As always,
Don't worry about
talk
practice.
that talk, and don't be afraid to use your voices for good, not evil. Continue to be the MVP in your own life. Until next time, Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yes.
See ya.
Yes,
Love
yes,
you.
yes, 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 yes. This
Thank
is the
you.
end of the episode. Bye bye.
Just-